Thought-provoking phrases and sentences for IELTS writing and speaking. In the glitter of science, we have forgotten our cultural and spiritual values. Science has made man morally bankrupt. It has degraded us. Today we are no longer inspired by noble ideas or ideals. According to our culture, happiness is a state of mind and mere external comforts are not sufficient to achieve this state. I feel that this thinking is myopic and needs correction. The law of nature says that we reap what we sow, and no amount of our anxiety will change the outcome. Today's chaos is not due to want of resources or opportunities. It is due to their poor management and the prevailing rat race. In the process, whatever is available is also not shared properly. There is enough in this world for every person's need, but not enough for one man's greed. Law should be equal for all, and there should be no leniency for anyone. No religion or community is above the law, and anyone who doesn't respect the law of the land must be punished. The natural resources of happiness are same for everybody. Man-made happiness sources can differ, but they don't last lifelong. We can't get away from our responsibilities merely by raising accusing fingers on others. Materialistic possession is not everything in life. Life is much beyond that. Today people are engrossed in thinking of material activities. The solution of our modern life problems lies in our ancient wisdom. Today people's work and duty are influenced by pressure. It is not born out of joy and service. Perhaps it won't be wrong to say that, blank. It is a matter of contemplation. The situation has become fearsome. I want to draw your attention to prehistoric time where blank. If we make a close analysis, every generation gets two responsibilities. 1. To correct the mistakes of the past. 2. To create something for the future. So, we should study what is missing instead of blaming. We should convert our tendency of blaming into a tendency of thankfulness. A girl's education not just empowers families but communities and economies. Only if the fear of punishment exists, there will be discipline and peace in society. We shouldn't forget that an important aspect of being smart is to curb the wastage and make sustainable use of the available resources. Today people are engrossed in thinking of material activities. Forbidden is always more exciting, so I believe too much restriction should be avoided. Encouragement is a much more effective teaching device than punishment. We need to come out of the attitude and action of an ostrich which thinks that by putting its head and mouth inside the soil hole, things will automatically get resolved and settled. The reality is too harsh to be digested and too stark to be confronted. The environment in India simply is being ignored by Indians. It deserves support rather than criticism. A joint effort may go a long way to diminishing a problem, if not solving it. The signs are encouraging, but there is a long way to go. Much has been done, but much more still remain to be done. I must tell you, if the policy is not changed, a more precarious situation is bound to surface. However, effective public awareness on the matter can go a long way in alleviating the problem, at least to some extent. Technology. Technology refers to innovative ways of doing work through different means. Technology can drive the machines and electronic gadgets, but their proper execution is in the hands of human beings. Technology can reduce time and effort. It can reduce the manpower requirement in every field, but the complete replacement of manpower is not possible. The biggest limitation of technology is that it cannot evolve and upgrade itself. Machines do not have the capacity to plan and think beyond the instructions that are fed into their systems. This is why it is not possible for them to substitute the human beings. Technology can support, but it can't supplant. Technology cannot replace teachers. No smart classes can substitute for the personal touch, guidance, and care by the teachers. Technology and manpower, both of them cannot substitute each other. Instead, they complement each other. Technology and manpower need to go hand in hand for the development of mankind. Technology is an enhancer, a facilitator, but it cannot replace manpower. Man has created and developed the technology, hence no technology can be above the human beings. Artificial intelligence is intelligence demonstrated by machines, in contrast to the natural intelligence displayed by humans and other animals. Health is wealth. He who has health, has hope, and he who has hope has everything. The proof of our physical existence on this planet is our body. All our joys and sorrows are expressed through our body, and without it, they lose their meaning. Therefore, the state of our body becomes very important from every point of view: physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual. A healthy body leads to a healthy mind and, in turn, to healthy intellectual and spiritual development. A healthy person is likely to have more positive attitude in comparison to an unhealthy person. Health has always been of great importance in human life. In relative terms, it occupies a superior position to wealth. Wealth without good health has no meaning. Our body is the abode of God, and it should be treated as such. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely an absence of disease or infirmity. A human body, in general, is the most precious and wonderful creation of nature. We are lucky to have this gift of nature, and it becomes our duty to take necessary care for it. Nature has designed it in such a manner that if we live within reasonable limits, our body, by and large, remains healthy. Eat right and exercise regularly. There has never been, and never will be, another way to a healthy lifestyle. Food is for sufficient energy, not to pig out on. Half the food we take keeps us alive, and rest half keeps the doctors alive. A morning meal is something that needs to be eaten as a daily ritual. Breakfast, break the fast. The word breakfast got its name because we have been fasting overnight when we are asleep. Sickness is one way for the body to react, and even then, if right precaution or care is taken, it becomes all right. In a way, illness is a warning to change our habits, and if we repeatedly neglect this warning, our body is bound to suffer. Our body needs a certain amount of sleep, exercise, and a healthy routine to maintain its well-being. Those of us who understand these needs and take care of them, enjoys good health and in turn lead a positive life. Worry is something which kills the body faster, while joyful living leads to good health. Eat 6 to 8 smaller meals throughout our day, rather than 3 larger ones. If we cultivate good habits right from the beginning, they have a positive effect on our health. Environment. The earth is our home, and our home is on fire. Human being has been operating with a huge sense of entitlement, with the attitude that everything on the planet and all resources are there for human consumption, and all other species are less important than the human species. Most of us take the earth, the environment, and other species for granted. Now we are damaging everything that are sustaining us on this planet. We are destroying everything that is a part of our life. Education. Education is the process of imbibing external progressive ideas, thoughts, and belief into our internal thinking, which eventually gets reflected in our action. Education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. The real education is that which enables one to stand on one's own legs. The education which helps the common mass of people to equip themselves for the struggle of life, the education which brings out strength of character and the courage of a lion, is called real education. Education is the process of imparting knowledge to people to excel in their fields and to face the challenges of life. Education is the main instrument through which a person becomes a social and enlightened animal. It is education that boosts up the minimum knowledge and intellect of a person. A well-educated person is considered as a resource for the development of the country. Education is one of the most important means for the all-round development of the society. It makes us civilized. It enables us to think in the most appropriate and relevant way in any given situation. Education is the building block on which our society's foundations lie. It creates civilized, good-mannered, and well-behaved people. Without education, we would not be able to distinguish ourselves from animals. The education system must strive to make people not only intelligent and skilled, but also to become proficient in establishment amicable relations between human beings. Such character building only a sensitive education system can accomplish. Education empowers an individual and enables him to take rational decisions. An educated person with moral values is an invaluable asset to the society and nation. It is the education system that diminishes the distance between various religious groups, enabling people to share a common social space. Our endeavors should be to strengthen the existing institutions and to build new ones which would facilitate sharing of a common social space and imparting of values of harmony and compassion among the youth. The real purpose of education is not to learn that Paris is the capital of France, but lies in developing a good personality and well-disciplined behavior. Value-based education is the only means which can give the young generation a right direction. Values are essential in education to prevent students from developing into a manipulative individual. Values help us to differentiate between good and bad acts, while education only teaches us about the various facts. Education without values tends to make man a clever devil. Educational institutions should now shift their focus from rote learning and cramming information to the understanding of the basic concepts, applying them to the practical world and focusing on the overall development of the children. Education liberates us from prejudices and superstitions and makes us objective. Education is to empower and to enlighten the qualities within us. Education is what remains in you after forgetting what you were taught.